everyone. Welcome to episode number 7 of Stop Who Does That? Headline Highlights. We have a jam-packed episode today, so we're going to try to get through these as quickly as we can. Today's episode, we will be covering updates on another attempted family annihilator, Joshua Kannin. We have updates on I chopped my wife up but didn't kill her, Brian Walshe, and a pregnant 22-year-old left for dead in the woods by her parents, as well as ending headline highlights with a little Florida man Google roulette. I'm Jackie.
And I'm Jenna.
We hope you had a wonderful weekend. I don't know about you, Jenna. My weekend was so busy between the kids' play dates and holiday parties. How about you?
Yeah, so busy. Yeah, we took the kids to my parents' house on Friday night and played some trivia games. We played Elf Monopoly, won a bunch of gift cards, and we had a pizza. It was a really fun night, and we watched a lot of Christmas movies this weekend. And here in the Northeast, we did get a little bit of snow on Saturday night, a few inches.
That is correct. We did.
It was
Probably
very
about
cool.
6 inches where I'm at.
You did?
Yeah, I think
Oh,
so.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We only got about 3. Yeah.
We
So
got it a little rougher down here.
usually, like, where Jackie is, they get less than where I am, a little bit north of that, but this time it was flip-flopped.
I
Yes.
know. Lovely snow,
Yeah.
but
So, well, let's get into it. We do want to take a moment to remind everyone to
yes.
please like, subscribe, and follow us on our YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Instagram, and Spotify. We really appreciate all of our listeners and followers. And Jackie's going to start us off talking about yet another family annihilator.
Well, I want to start off by saying this is alleged. He has not been arrested. After we go through the story, we'll let you be the judge. This story comes to us from Wisconsin. Joshua Kannin told police he panicked after realizing his home was on fire, leaving his 3 children inside while he ran to get help, according to a search warrant. He ended up being the sole survivor, and now their mom is asking why he left the kids behind. Jordan Feasby, the children's mother, tells People magazine that she spent Thanksgiving morning with her 3 children, Riley, age 10, Connor, age 9, and Alina, age 7, before she dropped them off at their dad's 2-story apartment. Hours later, she learned her boys had perished in a fire and her daughter had been hospitalized. In the hospital with their daughter, who later died, Feasby says she asked Kannin, "You wouldn't grab the kids first." Things just weren't adding up, she claims. Kannin told police that around 9 p.m. on November 27th, Riley and Connor went to sleep in their bedroom on the 2nd floor. He himself went to bed about an hour later, at which time his daughter was awake inside the room. According to the search warrant obtained by People, Kannin said that when he woke up a short time later, officials responded to the fire just before 11 p.m. His eyes, quote, felt cloudy, and that when he went downstairs, he saw, quote, a little fire on the kitchen floor. I'm just speculating, but I don't think fires start on the floor. How about you, Jenna?
No, I actually was involved in a kitchen fire I can speak about a little bit later, and I'll tell you where it started, and it was not the floor.
Joshua stated he panicked and walked out the front door, the police wrote. The father told them that he thought to himself, I have to go get help. So he went to the neighbor's house and banged on the door to get their help. And then by the time he got back to the house and tried to get back in, the smoke was blowing at him so bad he could only get 2 steps in. When first responders arrived, they found 2 children in the kitchen family room area who were believed to be deceased, later identified as brothers Riley and Connor, and another child who was severely burned, which was Alina. Alina was taken to a nearby hospital where she succumbed to her injuries just a few hours later. The father was taken to the hospital and treated for smoke inhalation. He was the only survivor. So at this point in time, the Kenosha police have only issued a search warrant. The warrant stated that the investors were examining the possibility of arson and potential homicide. Under Wisconsin law enforcement must outline potential criminal charges when applying for a search warrant in order to establish probable cause. So it sounds to me like their antennas are going up. There was mention in one article I read that he said he remembers leaving a cigarette burning near the sink. How that winds up creating a fire on the floor, I'd love to know. Either way, how irresponsible of you to be smoking in your house with your
Yeah.
children in there, number one. Number two, you left it burning? I don't know,
Yeah.
Jenna. Do you want to talk about your house fire and what your experience was? I mean, is your
Yeah.
first thought, let me
So,
go to the neighbors and get help, or is it let me
yeah,
get my kids out of here?
I just want to ask our listeners to put yourself in this situation, and what would your first thought be if you walk out and see a fire happening in your home? I don't think your first thought would be to run out the door and leave your children in the burning house. I was involved in a kitchen fire 3 years ago. This week, it will be 3 years. And when I came out into the kitchen, I saw flames as high as the ceiling, just shooting up. The first thing I did, I had the kids, and the first thing I did was scream at them to run out the front door. I took my phone. We ran out the door. We had no shoes on, no coat. It was December. It was 20 degrees outside, and we called the fire department from outside. But before I even called the fire department, I made sure that the two kids
Mhm.
and I were safely outside of the building. I just feel like from my experience, yeah, you're running on adrenaline, and maybe he was cloudy, maybe he wasn't thinking clearly, but
Mhm.
even in those circumstances, I feel like the first thing you would do is get your kids outside,
Yep.
your pet, like anything before you even call. So that doesn't add up for
No.
me that
No.
he's just saying, "Oh, I went to get help." That's very negligent. I do believe he left them in there on purpose. As sickening as it is to say that, I
I don't yeah. I don't see how you can get around that. I mean, if it was a small fire
Mhm.
on the floor, why wouldn't you try to just put it out yourself?
Yeah, and that's
And
what
then
that
if it doesn't go out, then go get help
yeah.
after yelling loudly to wake the kids up. I mean, it says the boys were on the first floor. I'm assuming the kitchen was on the first floor. I don't know the layout of this house, but I would imagine unless there was a back door, wouldn't you have to
Yeah.
run by the boys to get out
Yeah.
the door?
Yeah. I actually did grab the fire extinguisher to try to put my fire out, and
Yeah.
it wasn't working. It became an electrical fire, so the fire
Right.
extinguisher was not working, and then we ran out. You're gonna get the kids out, or you're gonna try to put the fire out. He didn't
Or
attempt.
scream to wake them up or something. I mean,
Yeah,
they
like,
yes, they were big enough, they probably could have left on their own, but, like, you could be like, "Boys, you need to get up. Tell them to get out of
I
the
don't
house."
yeah, I don't understand how he wasn't screaming. He just, like, quietly walked out the front door. It just doesn't add up.
Well, clearly the police are on to him, and I'm gonna keep an eye on this. I mean, I tried looking before we recorded to see if there was an arrest made. I don't see anything, but it does sound like they're looking into this for possible arson and homicide. So they are on to you. Again, this is not proven beyond a reasonable doubt or no arrest has been made, but I mean,
And they are
really?
investigating. The fire marshal does have to come make a ruling, which they haven't released yet. It's still under investigation. They
Mhm.
have to make a ruling on what started the fire. So that's going to tell us a lot about this case as well once we get that ruling back. So we will keep our eyes on that case and update
Oh,
everyone.
wait. Hold on. Oh, they grabbed his cell phone.
Okay.
Okay, so before going to bed, Cannon told police officers he had a cigarette in the kitchen by the sink and believed he extinguished it before going to sleep. And then they found his cell phone in the bedroom and seized it as evidence. So that was as of December 3rd. But I
Hmm.
don't see any arrests being made. I just wanted to make sure we double check that
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
we end this segment on him. But we will keep you
Yeah.
posted. All
Yep.
right, Jenna, what do
Okay.
you have for us?
Okay, next up, I have accused wife killer Brian Walshe, whose very public trial has been going on since December 1st. Closing arguments were this past Friday, the 12th. And we have breaking news in this case. As of 12 p.m. today, Brian Walshe was found guilty of first degree murder of his wife, Anna. That is brand new breaking news that happened just as we sat down to record this episode. I was pretty shocked that the jury took just the morning to
Yeah.
deliberate. they must have been on the same page right from the get-go on him.
Yeah, I mean, once you go through it for our listeners, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about what happened and why Brian was accused of murdering his wife, Anna. Anna was born in Belgrade, Serbia, and built a successful career after immigrating to the U.S. She met Brian Walshe in 2008, and they married in 2015. They had 3 young sons. Brian had a complicated past. In 2021, he pled guilty to federal fraud charges for, believe it or not, selling counterfeit Andy Warhol paintings. I can't even believe people still do stuff like this, but
All right.
yet that's what he did. He sold these counterfeit paintings, and he had to go to court, and he was on home confinement during the time that Anna disappeared. Anna was last seen in the very early hours of January 1st, 2023, after hosting friends for a New Year's Eve party. Brian told police she left early that morning to catch a flight to Washington, D.C. for a, quote, work emerge on the first day of the year, on New Year's Day. Okay, Brian. But investigators found no Uber, no flight, no airport footage, nothing showing she even left the house. So that's a mystery.
Just wanted to add for context that because of him being on home arrest and all these things going on with the Andy Warhol
Yeah.
situation, she was planning on leaving him and had secured a job in Washington, D.C. She bought a house down there. She was living back and forth between Massachusetts and Washington, D.C. So that's why he was saying, oh, she got a flight to D.C. for a work emergency. So just
Right.
wanted to add that in there for
Thank you.
context.
Yes. So the prosecutors allege Brian killed her on January 1st and then dismembered and disposed of her body. One of the most damning parts of this case is internet searches made from Brian's devices right after Anna vanished. We're talking searching how long before a body starts to smell, best ways to dispose of a body, dismemberment. Yeah, can you be charged with murder without a body? Plus, multiple searches related to the word divorce. I don't know, Jackie, but that's pretty incriminating right there. I mean,
Yeah, his first search for divorce was on December 27th. So this is 5 days before she went missing.
yeah.
So clearly on the December 27th, you're starting to think about this impending divorce. And what he searched was, is Massachusetts a good state to be divorced in or something along those lines? And clearly it's not.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that's when he started plotting and planning, like, how am I gonna kill her?
How am I? Yeah, because he just simply could. We say this all the time. You just simply can't just get divorced. No, you could
Right.
have just walked away. Now you're walking into jail for the rest of your life. Jenna wasn't reported missing until January 4th, and like we've seen in other cases, especially the one we just did,
Yeah.
on
Anna
Anna.
Machieska. Yep.
Yep. This Anna, Anna Walshe, her coworkers actually reported her missing before Brian even did. She never showed up for work after New Year's Day. That was out of character for her, and her coworkers reported her missing before her husband did. So that's a red flag right there, and we've seen this before. It doesn't look good for you, Brian. That does not look good. On January 7th, he's arrested for misleading the police, and 10 days later, he's charged with her murder. In March 2023, a grand jury indicted him for murder, misleading investigators, and improper transport of a human body. Anna's body has never been found. He did not plead guilty, and it went to trial. The trial began on December 1st, 2025. Opening statements, and the defense revealed their story. And the story is
That Brian's saying it is.
the story that Brian says is that Anna died suddenly in her sleep, and Brian panicked, and he admits to lying. He admits to dismembering her body, but he says he did it to, quote, protect their children, not because he killed her. This is making no sense, Jackie.
The only reason he pled guilty to dismembering her body is because they have camera footage showing him with the trash bags, throwing them into several different dumpsters around the area. I would imagine if they didn't have that on him, he probably would have said he wasn't guilty of the whole thing. And Even so, bro, even if you woke up and saw your wife dead in the bed next to you from natural causes, how do we make the leap to let me chop her body up?
Yeah. It's almost like the Joshua Kannin just walking out the front door when your house is on fire. That like you find your wife's dead body, you don't just go chop it up. Like that's not the sequence of events here. Like so
I suppose
he
he thought that logic would tell anyone that he had something to do with her death, and he, in his weird, twisted mind, thought, "Oh, they'll believe me because I thought they were going to come after me, finding her dead from natural causes. Like an autopsy wouldn't figure that
right,
out if that was
right.
true."
And wouldn't you just lock the bedroom door and maybe get your children out of the home and then go call police? I don't know what was running through his head, but it was nothing of substance at that point in time. He
It's
just,
such a horrible, horrible defense. I'm
it
sorry.
is. We've never, like, this is kind of a new one.
Yeah.
I didn't kill her. I just chopped up the body.
Well, I think if you're his defense attorney, they know he did it, but they're
Yeah.
trying to get him on a lesser They were like,
Yeah.
"Well, if we can get you on second degree, it's better than first degree," because that's the game these attorneys play in
Yeah.
defenses, right? Like with Brian Koberger's attorneys, it's like, "Well, if we can get you a deal that gets you off death row, then we'll
Yeah.
do that."
Yeah.
It's what's the most favorable outcome out of two shitty situations, and then they try to get you the least shitty option, you
We
know?
definitely thought outside the box with this one.
Yeah.
So, as it plays out, the motive, you may ask yourself, well, if he killed her, what could have been the motive? Well, she was having an affair. It was
Mhm.
revealed with a real estate broker named William Fastow. He actually sold them a townhome in Chevy Chase, Maryland. He testified on the stand that he had an intimate relationship with Anna immediately after selling them the townhome. He said they went sailing together, they attended functions together. He and Anna would frequent the gym together, and they
Mhm.
saw each other about 2 to 3 times a week. So that's not a casual affair. That's
No.
that's a real connection. So meanwhile in Massachusetts, while Anna's having the affair, Brian Walshe was on house arrest, awaiting sentencing after pleading guilty to the art scheme. And he was kind of awaiting some prison time for that. So
Yeah.
and we don't know if he was aware of the affair or not, but I can imagine he was, given all the time he was spending at home, and I had plenty of time to put the pieces of the puzzle
Mhm.
together and figure out what she was doing.
Yeah, and I mean, he knew I believe I read somewhere she had given him an ultimatum at some point. She wasn't happy with him given these charges. And I
Mhm.
also read Jenna in 2015, before they even got engaged, he had threatened to kill her and a friend, which she did report to the police
Mhm.
at the time, but didn't cooperate further. So I guess they kind of dropped the whole thing.
Yeah.
This man is willing to fraud people. He threatened to kill her before. I mean, what else are you capable of?
Uh-huh.
Clearly, you can chop your wife's body up like it's nothing.
Yeah,
So,
true. So I'm not surprised with the verdict. Brian was found guilty of first-degree murder and will face a mandatory life sentence without the possibility of parole. And he will go back for the final sentencing, I would think, in a couple weeks. We'll keep our eyes on that, but it looks like Brian, you did not get away with this, and you will be spending the rest of your life in prison as you should be.
and the sad part is I was reading the kids are in foster care right now. So,
Oh, that's really sad.
the kids are always forgotten about.
That's
Sad.
horrible. Yeah.
But anyway, we
Well,
have a
Jackie.
really tragic case here coming out of Michigan. Jenna, this was disgusting. I
Yeah,
mean,
this is definitely a hard case to listen to. We would wanna
trigger
warn
warning.
we just wanna warn everyone that there's a trigger warning involving a pregnant woman and some heinous actions against her.
I'll read it, and then I will show you what these people look like
Mhm.
so you know what depravity looks like.
Mhm.
So, coming out of Michigan, the parents of a pregnant woman who disappeared mere weeks before her due date allegedly cut her unborn baby out of her womb and left her for dead in the woods of Michigan. Rebecca Park, age 22, was found dead in the Manistee National Forest on November 25th, weeks after she vanished on November 3rd, when she was 38 weeks pregnant. When her body was recovered, she was no longer pregnant, but her baby was also nowhere to be found. Authorities have since confirmed that the baby is also deceased, but did not provide any more additional details, according to the Detroit Free Press. Park's biological mother and stepfather, 40-year-old Courtney and 47-year-old Bradley Bartholomew, are accused of her murder. The couple, who did not raise the victim, so Rebecca was adopted by someone else, brought Park back to their home, forced her into a car, and dragged her into the woods where they stabbed her and cut her baby out of her womb, says Wexford County Prosecutor Johanna Carey. Carey said their evisceration killed both Park and the baby. Quote, "This is, frankly, evil personified," Carey said during the family's arraignment on Tuesday. That same day that Park's body was found, her much older fiancé, and I assume the baby's father, 43-year-old repeat offender Richard Lee Fowler, was arrested and charged with distributing methamphetamine. He pleaded not guilty to the charge on December 2nd. When Park was first reported missing, her fiancé Fowler told 9 and 10 News that she was picked up in a black sedan with tinted windows while she was at her mother's house. He added that Park was also gifted $2,000 from family inheritance that day, and her phone was later found on the side of the road near her mother's home. I don't know about you, Jenna, but it sounds to me like that's probably why she got killed.
It sounds like a motive. Yeah.
Fowler told the outlet that he, Courtney, Bartholomew, and Kimberly Park were all calling hospitals to make sure Park and his son were safe. Park was due to give birth on November 18th, but Fowler said she was already 1 centimeter dilated the day before she went missing. At the arrangement, Stacey Davis, Bradley Bartholomew's estranged sister, so this is Rebecca's stepfather's sister, told the outlet that her brother and Courtney Bartholomew had previously attempted to have a baby but struggled to conceive. Quote, "I'm here for Rebecca and her baby. I'm not here for my brother," she said. Courtney Bartholomew was Park's biological mother, but the slain mother and her siblings were adopted and raised by Stephanie Park and her husband. Park's sister, 21-year-old Kimberly Park, was also arrested on November 26th and charged with tampering with evidence in a criminal case, lying to a police officer during a violent crime investigation, and filing a false report of a felony. At Kimberly's arraignment, detectives alleged that she lied to police when she claimed her stepfather had struck Park in the head, causing a seizure, and then took her body away. The Bartholomews were both denied bond. Courtney Bartholomew's attorney noted that she was disabled while trying to haggle for a lower bond in home confinement.
Okay.
Oh, you're so disabled you can kill your daughter, right?
Okay. Yeah.
The couple face identical charges, including first-degree premeditated murder, felony murder, torture in a place of confinement, conspiracy to commit torture, assault of a pregnant woman with the intention to cause miscarriage or stillbirth, conspiracy to commit that assault, unlawful imprisonment, moving a dead body. So it sounds to me like they've got enough proof to show that this was clearly premeditated,
Yeah.
that they know they held her for a while and tortured her.
Yeah, it's just awful. And $2,000, that's like nothing to take someone's life. But yeah, if you pull up the pictures, Jackie, you can clearly see that these people were on meth. Like this was a meth family. Like now, not the victim, but I think they found out she got that money and they wanted it.
Yes, here is on the left. Here is Courtney Bartholomew, the mother, the biological mother. And then on the right is our victim, Rebecca Park. I mean, clearly this woman is strung out. There's Rebecca again. And then, this is, oh gosh, who's this guy? Oh yeah, that's the stepdad. You disgusting human being. Just look in their eyes, right? You can see this hardened look, like there's just nothing there. Let's look at
Yeah,
the mom
soulless.
too. Like, just honestly, in the mom's eyes, there's just nothing there.
Yeah, I see drug addiction.
Yeah. It's I mean, I'm not trying to disparage anyone who struggles with addiction. because I do have a lot of sympathy for that. But I mean, this lady clearly her entire life, you didn't even have custody of your own children. And then when it sounds to me like you kind of came back into this girl's life, your daughter's life, and then you decide, I think I'm going to steal your baby now.
Yeah, that's actually just so effed up. She probably was so excited to have a relationship with her mom. I can have a baby, and,
Yeah.
they just took that away from her. It's just really unfortunate, sad, and it's unspeakable.
I I think they should get the death penalty. I hope
I do
that is
too.
something you can get the death penalty for. Then again, Brian Koberger, he didn't get the death penalty for killing 4 people
True.
in their own home. So, it's
We could
kind of
talk all day long about Brian Koberger. So we
I'm gonna
won't.
we're gonna mention that a lot.
Yeah.
But no, it's disgusting. And we don't bring these things up because of how depraved they are, but again, it's to remind you of the evil in this world and to remember this poor woman's life and her child. Because
Uh-huh.
man, somebody has to speak up for them.
Exactly. Yeah, just to share awareness in these cases, for sure.
Well, Jenna, I think you have an update on Morgan Geyser.
Yeah, so moving into a quick update, last week on Headline Highlights, we talked about Morgan Geyser, the Slender Man killer, and how she broke out of her group home by cutting off her ankle bracelet, and she was placed in jail. Her attorney has been motioning for her to get removed from jail and put back into the
Mhm.
mental health facility. So we learned that on December 10th, which was last week, she was moved out of jail. So her attorneys did get that done for her. She was moved out of jail and put in a different facility. She wasn't moved back to the same one, which I'm happy to hear because it sounded like she was really struggling there.
Mm.
They put her in a different facility. They are not stating the name, but we can speculate that it's a different one. And hopefully, this will be a better fit for her, and she can get the help she needs to keep rehabilitating her life.
Absolutely.
Moving on from that, we do have a very breaking news story, Jackie, that just happened yesterday.
Yesterday, yes. Have any of you seen The Princess Bride or When Harry Met Sally, A Few Good Men, Stand By Me? This is Spinal Tap. What all of those movies have in common is that Rob Reiner was the director of those movies. We found out yesterday, Sunday afternoon around 3:40 p.m. Pacific Time, LAPD officers were called to the Reiner home in Brentwood, California, for what they described as a death investigation. Inside the home, police found 2 bodies. Both Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle had been stabbed to death. Multiple sources, police, family, friends, and others all confirmed that this was an apparent homicide. I will say the comments I initially saw on Instagram, I don't know who these people were, but they immediately were saying it was his son who killed
Mhm.
them. And then just hours later, we find out the latest here is that Nick Reiner, 32 years old, their son, was arrested. According to county jail records, he's being held on $4 million bail. As of right now, there's no detailed information about the exact charges, but the circumstances point toward homicide. Rob Reiner was noted for the movies that I mentioned earlier that shape American film and television. He was also an actor starring in the iconic sitcom All in the Family for over
Mhm.
8 years.
Yeah.
His wife, Michelle, also had her own creative legacy. She was a photographer and producer. And if you're a romantic comedy fan, you'll love this detail. Rob actually spotted her on the New York set of When Harry Met Sally. Their love story
Oh.
inspired him to change the ending of the film,
I
which is
love
really
that movie.
I
I
did too.
I love that movie, especially around the holidays because it has holiday aspect in
Yeah.
parts of it, and it ends with the big, New Year's Eve party. I do love that movie.
You know what else I found out? Remember the
Yeah.
Arquette's Deli
Yes.
scene where
Yes.
yeah. So the woman, the old lady that
Yes.
says, "I'll have what she's having,"
Yes.
that was actually Rob Reiner's mother,
Oh my
Estelle, I believe.
gosh!
Yeah, that was
Oh,
pretty cool to find out.
that is such a iconic scene and
Yep.
classic line. Yeah, "I'll have what she's having."
Yep, that was his mom. So he always kind of
Oh,
made things a family bonding
yeah.
experience with filming. I know his father was important in the film
Mhm.
industry, Carl Reiner. And then this actual son, Jenna, I don't know if you know this, Nick. the one who has been arrested for their murder, he had been struggling with drug addiction for years and was homeless for a while as a teenager. And around like the 2015 timeframe, he got clean and he wrote a film called Being Charlie, which his father helped him make. This
I
film,
did
his
read that.
father,
Yeah, and
yeah.
they kind of bonded over that experience together. Yeah, he struggled with addiction just like our last story. Drugs, they just overtake your life. And it doesn't matter if you come from a famous family or you come from just the regular old family in
That's a
Michigan.
very good point.
It affects you the same exact way, no matter
Drug
how much
addiction
money
doesn't
you have.
discriminate.
Nope.
It doesn't discriminate who you are, where you come from. It goes to show that you, like you said, like you can come from a family like this and you still have a son who struggles with these things. I mean, I guess I would assume he relapsed or something. I don't know what would lead to this kind of
I know
behavior.
maybe he needed more money and they said, "Nick, we not helping you this time," or maybe they tried to get him to another rehab and he was like, "Hell no, I'm not going." It could be
Yeah.
multiple reasons, but I think it's safe to say that he wasn't thinking in his clear mind when
Right.
he did this because of the drugs.
And I mean, if he was on drugs at the moment this happened, I mean, I can't imagine what's going to happen when he dries out and realizes what he did. I mean, the
I
guilt that you
know.
have to live with. I also saw Rob Reiner, he had three other children. He has an older son and then a daughter named Romy and a
Mhm.
daughter he had with Penny Marshall from I think
Oh,
it was
wow.
Laverne and
Wow.
Shirley.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
But the daughter Romy, I found her Instagram and I was watching some videos of her and her
Mhm.
dad, and they were adorable. Like she was cutting his
Yeah.
hair and they're joking about Nepo babies. And I mean, they had such a cool bond.
Yeah.
And I just feel so sad for her because I believe she was the one that found them. So,
That's horrible.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And now she's going to be traumatized. And now she's lost both of her parents.
And a brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How tragic. So, yeah, we'll definitely be updating everyone as more facts come out about this case.
Yeah. Thoughts and prayers go out to the Reiner family. That's got to be just tragic to deal with. It's just sad all around.
Mhm.
All right, it is time for Florida Man Roulette.
Our favorite Monday afternoon.
We have a new update, though. The Polk County Sheriff, I don't know if you guys follow him on Instagram. He's hilarious.
Mhm.
He must have been watching us, Jenna. I don't know, but he's made some digs at Philadelphia that we need to talk about.
Yeah.
Let me play these for everyone. Hold on. Oh my God.
And guess what? As we've said before, you can't go any place, anytime that you're not on a camera. So Dick's Sporting Goods knows that they're stealing because they're watching this systematic, organized theft ring called a football team. Now, not only did they steal 47 items, not only did they steal 47 items, but ostensibly they may have cost their team the championship and the football game, because I don't know if these all were starters or not, but I can tell you that we were finishers. We arrested them. We took them to the Juvenile Assessment Center and we put them in lockup. But I want to introduce you to their coach. His name's Raymond Bynes, B-Y-N-E-S. So when we notify the coach who is responsible for them, you would think he would be interested in holding them accountable and responsible. Instead, he goes to the deputies and begs them not to take these young men into custody. Oh, don't arrest them. Drop the charges. Let them go. And then when we said no, then they go to Dick's Sporting Goods to the manager and said, oh, don't charge them. Don't charge them. They were not taking bubble gum one piece to chew. They stole over $2,000 worth of products, over 47 different products they stole. And then when it was evident that they were going to be arrested, then the coach says, don't you guys have anything better to do? What are all these deputies doing here? Don't you have anything better to do than arrest these kids? Listen, I don't know how you do things in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, but in Polk County, Florida, we'd lock you up for stealing, for being a thief. So this is part of a football team. This is also the thoroughbred thieves, and it's their choice. It's their choice to go to jail because they Ubered down and were actively ripping off Dick's Sporting Goods. 47 items, I believe they were caught with.
And I'll stop it there. I don't know how you do things in Philadelphia. Oh, Sheriff Grady, Judd, we love you.
I just want to say that police department's use of poster board was really impressive with the pictures, and that almost looked like Santa's wish list. That was very impressive, their use of props for that.
Oh, that's what he does. He does all these press conferences like this. There's been one where he like showed this weird sketch. It looks like, I don't know, it does not look like a woman. And he's like, somebody thought they were going to meet with this lady, but they weren't.
That's funny.
I love his presentation. I love his delivery. I'm embarrassed of Philadelphia right now. So we're just,
stealing is bad.
Being equal.
Yeah. Don't steal.
We're being equal here.
Yeah.
We know we beat up on Florida. But we still got to do it. So let's go to Google now.
Okay. I'm thinking today I'm going to do December date. I'm feeling in the holiday spirit. So
are we doing woman? Because we did man last time.
Yeah, do woman. And I'm going to go with December 12th.
Okay. Let's see what we get.
Okay.
On December 12th, 2024, a Florida woman named Brianna Boston was arrested for threatening her health insurance company using the phrase delay, deny, depose. Oh, we got a Luigi wannabe there. Mortgage fraud.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
We have a winner.
Florida woman arrested after buying and selling human bones in her curio store. That's the kind of stuff I like. I don't know. I don't know about you, Jenna. Okay, here we go.
That's a good one.
All right. The Orange City Police Department say 52-year-old Kimberly Shopper knowingly purchased and offered human bones for sale on Facebook Marketplace. She is facing charges of trading in human tissue. Oh, there she is.
Yikes.
Boy. Why do they all have like this downturned mouth? Right. What we know, the Orange City Police Department said it received a report on December 21st, 2023 regarding a business within the area attempting to sell human bones. The woman who made the report identified the business as Wicked Wonderland, which is located in Orange City.
What?
Investigators say they found the following human remains for sale. 2 human skull fragments.
Oh my God.
$90. A human clavicle and scapula, $90. A human rib, $35. Oh, just a vertebra, $35. How is a rib and a vertebra the same price? I don't know.
I feel like they're underpricing this.
Yeah. I mean, you can't get human bones that easily, right? So shouldn't the price be a lot higher?
I mean, I feel like they're really underpricing themselves here.
That's a good point. They don't understand economics clearly about supply and demand.
No, I mean, Ed Gein could have been a millionaire if he opened a store like this.
Yeah. A partial human skull. Now that one's $600. What they're saying, officers said they went to the store and spoke with one of the owners who told them the business has been selling human bones for years and was unaware it's illegal to do so in Florida. I'm sorry, you didn't think for a second to think where the hell these bones are coming from?
It's highly illegal to do that anywhere.
She confirmed that the store had multiple human bone fragments, all purchased from private sellers. Oh, I bet they were private. And mentioned she has documentation for these transactions, but couldn't provide it at that moment. She described the bones as genuine human remains and delicate in nature, says the arrest affidavit. She claims, the store owner claims they're educational models, which would protect their sale under state law.
Loophole.
I know. I took an anatomy class years ago, and they did bring in like the entire vertebral column on a string, to show you what like a real spine looks like. I remember thinking like, this is effed up that I'm like holding somebody's
Yeah, like whose was
entire
it?
spine.
Like,
It was a woman, I know that.
okay.
But no, like those things are allowed for the sake of education.
Yeah.
Yeah, people who donate their bodies to science, that's what that is. But I don't think that's what this was. One bone sample revealed that it was okay. So reports show that the cranium and skull fragment were likely archaeological finds. One bone sample revealed it was more than 100 years old, and another one said the bone was more than 500 years old. Jenna, they really were underpricing these.
Oh, so now we're like getting into artifacts at this point. Yeah.
Now we know
Whoopsies.
what goes on in Florida.
Yeah, how about open a pet store or a bakery, not a bone human tissue selling store? I just probably think of something else. Yeah.
Have you ever been to an oddities store? I've been to a few of them, and they sell some weird shit. But I don't think I've ever seen human bone or human stuff. They'll sell like what looks like a tapeworm in a jar.
No.
Yeah.
Sounds interesting enough.
Dead birds and
Christmas shopping.
Go to an oddities store. Well, Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd, we love you. We do.
Yeah.
And we support you admonishing Philadelphia.
Yeah, and we apologize for their behavior. Stealing is bad, and they should be reprimanded to the fullest extent of the law. We agree.
All right. Well, that wraps up today's episode. We hope you enjoyed it. It was jam-packed. We got it done in less than an hour.
Why?
As always, remember to like, follow, share, and subscribe. Listening to our episodes and watching them definitely helps, but it's the subscribers and the followers that help give us credit. We greatly appreciate all of you. Shout out to Australia. We see that you're showing up for us, so we definitely wanted to give you. We're gonna keep talking about you until one of you sends us an email.
We will. We are not gonna let this go.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Well.
Yep. Thanks, everyone.
Have a great week, everyone.